Look at this beautiful cat. Oh, his buddy is here. Only back up. This happened last time. You don't want no one. You don't want no one messing with his friend. I can't. And I had a stroke, so I can't deal with a cat attack right now. So let me leave them alone. How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? I'm doing fine. I just came back from Costa Rica and Colombia. I was there. I was in Costa Rica for 1 week, from Monday. No, not 1 week. I was in Costa Rica, um, San Jose, from Monday to Friday, and then Friday I went to Colombia. Um, yeah, I went to Bogota, Colombia, from Friday to the next Friday, and I just came home yesterday, which was Friday. Today is Saturday, and I had a great time, especially Colombia. It was awesome. I can't complain about it. It was great. I had some mishaps though, like someone I saw my account and then took someone charged me $236. Then they charged me like $149. Then they charged me like $120 something. Then they charged me $68. But I disputed it at my bank. And that was the worst thing about it, but I think I'm gonna get the money back. It was obviously a fraud. And yeah, and I didn't know Colombia was high elevation. So it was by the mountains, you know. That was very interesting. That was the first time I've been in an environment that was high elevation. So really cool. Yeah, as y'all can see in my videos, it's like a lot of mountains and stuff like that. You can see the mountains. But yeah, just because it looks beautiful, that doesn't mean you don't have to deal with, it's hard to breathe. You got to be in shape. It's a reason that UFC fighters train in high elevation because it's more difficult. So I was doing a lot of, I had to stop like every half an hour to just do heavy breaths and then keep going on my walks because, I walk at least 10,000 steps a day, sometimes 20, sometimes 30,000. So I'm gonna be honest, that was awesome. I loved it. I'm gonna go back to Colombia, um, probably in like, let's see, probably in about 140 days, because I'm gonna go to June 1st. I'm gonna go to Peru for 75 days, and then I'm gonna go to Ecuador for about 75 days, and then I'm gonna go back to Colombia, Bogota. I'm gonna go there for about probably 75 days. Also, my new I figured out a plan because when I came back on Friday, I checked my blood pressure and it was like 153 over 100, which is high. Before I left, it was like 120 over 80. So the reason it's high, and then I checked this morning, it's Saturday right now, it was 143 over like 93. So I think that's because I ate every single meal eating out at a restaurant. So I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a restaurant. And I was overseas for about 11 days. So, it's just, you can't, basically, I just had to do that trip because I had to get out of the country and get on a flight because when I had a stroke 11 months ago, not my doctor, one of the nurses said, you will never walk again. Oh, you will not never. Oh, God forgive me. Please let that never happen to me. But my doctor or the nurse said, you will never fly again. So I had to just go overseas and make sure I could still fly and not have issues. So Now that I'm more experienced again, I'm back on the road. Now I'm back home, but I'm just saying, now that I'm back on the road, I know I proved to myself that I can fly. When I go to on June 1st, when I go to Peru, Lima, the the um the capital, I think that's the biggest city too. Anyway, I'm gonna get a hotel for a week, and then I'm forced to go vegan because I'm getting a hotel. There's no stove, there's no kitchen, there's no freezer, there's no microwave. I'll go vegan and eat like fruits, vegetables, nuts, almonds, peanuts, walnuts, you know, cashews. I may eat some beans out of a can. I usually don't like doing that because there's some sodium in it, but Peru was named the lowest blood pressure in the world, the lowest country with the lowest blood pressure. So I'm gonna do that for a week in the hotel in Peru, and then the next week I'm gonna go to a hostel, and they have a stove, they have an oven, they have a fridge, and I could cook my own food. That's my plan, to keep going back. Maybe 2 weeks at a hostel, and then 2 weeks at a 2 weeks at a hotel, or maybe I'll just stay at the hostel. Like I just can't commit to that though, because I'll save a lot of money at the hostel. I've been asking ChatGPT, and it's saying you should just stay at the hostel because it forces you to be social. It's not healthy to isolate yourself for long periods of time in a hotel. Even if you walk in 2,000 steps and you're talking to people, it's easier to make friends in a hostel. And also, not only is it easier to make friends, but you can eat healthier in a hostel, and it's cheaper. So that's why I came up with the, vice versa, or like that trend of 6'9". That's what they say, 6'9", going back and forth, go to the hotel, the hostel. But the thing is, you can't get laid at a hostel. You can't even really, yeah, you can't get laid. And I'm not getting laid anyway. I didn't get laid in Costa Rica or Colombia. But here's the thing. In my mind, I'm telling myself, okay, let's say I meet a woman and she's attractive and we vibing and I like her, she likes me. I can just switch a room. They have one bedrooms at hostels, or I could get a hotel for cheap in another country. So yeah, that's my plan. First, I'm gonna go back and forth, one hostel and then one hotel. Then I'll probably just stick with the hostel eventually. Just meet some people, and if I catch a vibe with a young lady or a nice lady, she could be a middle-aged lady, older lady. You know, I'm gonna just switch my room for a little more expensive and have a one bedroom, or I'll just go get a cheap hotel. You know, um, so that's the plan. That stops that high blood pressure stuff because I can't continue to have. I'm going eventually. It may take a week. I'm going to lower my blood pressure back to normal. But since I'm be living overseas, I'm gonna go to a different country and then come back to Miami every 75 days and get my medications and go back to another country. I can't afford to have my blood pressure high for like the whole year overseas, because I'm eating at a restaurant every single day. I gotta be able to have access to a kitchen to to eat the right foods. So, and I could do that by staying at a hostel. Like I said, they have individuals rooms at hostels, and they also have kitchen, and they also have a social dynamic there. And it's way cheaper. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. A hostel is way cheaper than a hotel, and it has good amenities. So overall, I had a great time. Thanks for liking the video. Please like, subscribe. Thank you so much. And I'll keep y'all updated on my blood pressure journey now. I'm basically in a fight to lower my blood pressure. So that's the fight right now. And I think I'm gonna win this battle. Also, I started drinking coffee in Colombia. I stopped drinking coffee when I had the stroke because they checked my heart and they said my ejection fraction was at like 33 to 36%. But then I went to echocardiogram a couple months ago and they said my heart is at 100%. So I had some coffee every morning in Colombia. But since I came back to the US, Miami, and checked my blood pressure, it was high, 153 over 110. And this morning it was like 143 over 93. It could have been 145 over 93. But anyway, I'm just gonna relax with the coffee. At least until my blood pressure is down. And then I wanna like check of how does that affect my blood pressure long term. I know coffee will bring my blood pressure higher for a short term, like a couple hours. But the reason I'm drinking coffee again is because ChatGPT says that long term coffee will lower your risk of a second stroke. So that's why I'm doing it. And coffee tastes good, and coffee gives me energy. It's good in the morning, but I gotta lower my blood pressure before I could think about messing with coffee right now. My blood pressure is high, not like emergency high, go to the hospital high, but it's not good right now. But that's expected. When you eat out every single day, you're gonna have high blood pressure. That's why I had the stroke, because I was eating out every day for years. So, all right, y'all, be good. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, like. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Bye-bye.